Bernard was 84, hard of hearing, and a passionate birdwatcher. One quiet afternoon, he opened his front door expecting a package, but instead he was met by a group of strangers in pastel polos holding clipboards. They called themselves the Lavender Property Standards Task Force and started demanding he remove a garden gnome they claimed violated neighborhood decor standards. There was just one problem. Those rules didn't exist. When Bernard, confused and holding his parakeet's cage, tried to shut the door, things escalated. One of the men pushed past him, causing Bernard to fall and break his arm. They left an orange citation on his doorstep and walked away without checking if he was okay. I'm Daniel Cooper. I had just returned from Army Reserve training when I got the call from the hospital. My grandpa, the man who taught me how to tie my shoes and build model airplanes, was lying in a hospital bed because some self-appointed enforcers didn't like his lawn decoration. That's when I decided to take action. I set up my laptop at Grandpa's kitchen table and began gathering evidence. First, I reviewed the footage from his doorbell camera. It showed everything. Bernard opening the door, the men yelling, one of them forcing his way in, and my grandpa falling hard onto the porch. I made backups. Then I started digging. Turns out, the task force wasn't official at all. The leader was a woman named Patricia Pemberton, just a local resident with a passion for control. Her social media was full of pictures of her group posing in a golf cart with homemade badges, boasting about neighborhood compliance sweeps. I spoke with other neighbors and uncovered a pattern of harassment. A woman cited for using the wrong shade of beige on her mailbox. A retired veteran told his tomato plants violated aesthetic standards. A couple warned their silent wind chimes caused noise pollution. One man's birdbath was smashed with a croquet mallet, and several homes were trespassed upon late at night for yard inspections. No one had fought back. Most residents were elderly or unsure of their rights. I compiled everything into a detailed case file. Then I contacted law enforcement and the state attorney general's office. But I didn't stop there. I created a fake email address posing as a zoning officer and sent Patricia an invitation to a fictional conference called ComCon, supposedly held at the municipal center. She RSVP'd within hours and brought her entire enforcement squad in full uniform. What she didn't know was that I had tipped off the sheriff's department. When they arrived, they were met not by fellow rule enforcers, but by Deputy Williams, who served them with cease and desist letters, criminal summonses, and warnings about impersonating government officials. It didn't stop there. An investigation revealed they had been collecting fines, over $18,000, from frightened residents, directing them to mail checks to a P.O. box. This added charges of mail fraud and elder financial abuse. During trial, the evidence spoke for itself. Doorbell and security footage, witness statements, social media posts, forged documents, and most importantly, Bernard's medical records and testimony. The jury found Patricia guilty. The judge sentenced her to 3 years in state prison for assaulting an elderly person, 2 years for impersonating officials, $50,000 in restitution to victims, permanent restraining orders, and the revocation of her real estate license. As she was escorted out of the courtroom, Patricia shouted that without her, property values would plummet. But the residents of Lavender Heights were relieved. Peace returned. Gardens bloomed. Wind chimes sang softly once more. And Bernard? He's back on his porch, watching birds, sipping tea, and proudly displaying his garden gnome, right where it belongs.